Female ovums, they are produced in female sex glands, and if they find a sperm, they get converted into an embryo, which in turn finally gets converted into a baby. So these cells are approximately 0.12 mm in diameter and are actually visible to human eye, right? Mycoplasma, a type of bacteria, is the smallest cell, and it is 1/10,000th of a millimeter. And these are, different cells have different shapes. The red blood cells found in our hemoglobin are oval shaped. Nerve cells are like this, the branched. Then leaf pores guard cells, the plant cells are kidney bean shaped. Diatoms are star shaped, and so on. Okay. Now we will go inside the cell. There are three features in almost every cell: plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. A tip to remember is PCN. In our 11th and 12th classes, we take the subjects PCM, right? PCM or PCB. So this is PCN, plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. These are the essential features in almost every cell. Let's study about plasma membrane. It is also known as cell membrane. It separates the cytoplasm of the plant and animal cells from the extracellular environment. We will have a look how it looks like. And it is selectively permeable. What do we mean by permeable? Permeable is something which, lets materials go out and get in. For example, a sponge. Sponge is very permeable. It takes in all the water you put it in it, right? A plasma membrane is selectively permeable, which means it selects, it regulates what it allows to enter inside the cell and what exits the cell. Everything can't enter and everything can't exit the cell. It consists of a lipid bilayer. So what do we mean by lipid bilayer? Bi as in Bi means two. So it's a thin membrane made of two layers of lipid molecules. Now what are lipid molecules? Dictionary meaning of lipid is fatty cells. Anything containing fatty cells. So I'll show you how the layer looks like. One layer, two layer. These upper molecules, they interact with water, serine and phosphate, and these tails interact with each other. So this layer gives a kind of cushioning as well as protection to the cells from the outer world. Right. Now let us recall the basic functions of a cell membrane. Let us summarize them. First of all, it physically separates the cytoplasm from the extracellular environment. Secondly, it is selectively permeable. It has fine pores through which materials may pass in and out of the cell, right? And last but not the least, it protects the cell from the outside world. Okay, next we come to the cell wall. It is located even outside the cell membrane, surrounds the cell, giving it a shape and some rigidity. It's freely permeable. Now what does it mean? Allows substance in solution to enter and leave the cell without any obstruction. It is not selectively permeable, it is freely permeable, right? It contains cellulose, a non-living material. I'll come back to it. Okay, so some cells, in addition to the cell membrane, also have a cell wall, right? So cellulose is an organic compound. It is a formula of C6H10O5, and it consists of a linear chain of over 10,000s of glucose units. And your paper board, the one which you get to give your exams, and the paper that you use is primarily made of cellulose. and wood pulp and cotton is, where it is obtained from. So the cell wall is primarily made up of cellulose. Okay, so we studied cell membrane. It was a lipid bilayer and it was selectively permeable. It protected the cell so that external toxic substances don't come in, right? And lets some excretory substances go out of the cell. Then some cells are, having a cell wall which gives them shape and rigidity and also some protection, right? Now we go to cytoplasm. Basically everything between the cell membrane or the plasma membrane and the nucleus is cytoplasm. So we will slowly build over this structure to make a complete cell. For now, take it as simple as this is the nucleus, this is the outer cell membrane, right? And everything between this, the sky blue portion, is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm consists of a matrix, organelles, vacuoles, and granules. Now let us have a look at what a matrix is. Is it this matrix? No guys, matrix in a cell is a transparent and homogeneous semi-fluid material. In its active state it remains saturated with water, and if the water content is decreased, the vital activity of the cell may actually halt. Have you seen dry seeds? Right? Their outer membrane is kind of sunken and wrinkled. So that is an example of non-active matrix. Now, what are organelles? They are the living parts of the cells. Many parts combined together are called the organelles. They have a definite shape, structure and function, right? And are adopted for carrying out one or more vital functions of the cell. Next one is vacuoles. Vacuoles are like the storehouse of our own home. They are storage bubbles found in the cells, right? They are found both in animal as well as plant cells, but in plant cells they are much bigger. And what do these storehouses contain? They contain food or nutrients that a cell might need to survive, and along with this they can even store the waste products, right? So that rest of cell is protected from contamination from those waste products. Another object which is a part of the cytoplasm is the plastids. These are present only in plant cells, and there are two types of plastids, the chromoplasts, which are the colored ones, and leucoplasts, which are the colorless plastids. Okay, so what is a chloroplast and how does it look like? This is the outer membrane of the chloroplast. Orange one is the inner membrane. Then those oval shaped thylakoid membranes are there, and then we see stacks of grana, right? Chloroplasts are green plastid found in green parts of the plants, right? It is found in the leaves, in the green stems, and it is a chloroplast which is utilized to manufacture food, or which is used in the process of photosynthesis. So chloroplast is present in algae and higher plants. Alright, so now we come to the nucleus. Nucleus is often called brain of the cell, right? Do you remember what are the cells without nucleus called? Prokaryotes, right? Pro means before, which means a very basic cell. So nucleus contains one or more dense bodies, and those bodies are called nuclei, and thread-like structures called chromatin, right? It is a nucleus that bears hereditary characters called genes and also regulates metabolic activities of the cell. Now what does this all mean? Do you recall somebody telling that he has got a good height and it has gone on his father? Since his father is tall, that is why he is tall. And she is very fair as his color is gone on her mother. We colloquially say like that. So when we say this, we essentially mean that the genes which determine the color or the genes that determine the height has come from the respective parent of that particular child, and it is these genes or chromosomes which are a part of the nucleus, right?